Hey, guess what? Joe Biden's president and Silicon Valley's in bed with him, and they're all pro-censorship. Just like the Young Turks, just like the Democratic Party, just like Mike Figueredo and David Dole and everybody who's in the TYT satellite. They're all very pro-censorship. And they're probably thrilled that Joe Biden is president because he's in bed with Silicon Valley and they're censoring everybody. And in fact, here's Twitter Safety just put this up. We're testing a feature for you to report tweets that seem misleading as you see them. Starting today, some people in the United States, South Korea, and Australia will find the option to flag a tweet as it's misleading after clicking on Report Tweet. First of all, I think this is going to work out great. What could possibly go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? And Aaron Mate knows. Aaron Mate says, I'm predicting 100% success rate for this cool new feature. Let the reporting begin. Come on. So, by the way, friendly reminder, we have domestic troll farms on behalf of politicians right here in the United States. So Hillary Clinton, if you remember, they spent a couple of $1 million on trolls on Twitter. This never goes reported, except here at this show. David Brock was doing that, which was probably against election law, but they did it anyway. And so you don't think that another puke like David Brock or Hillary Clinton or Joe Biden or the DNC is going to spend a couple of more $1 million on Twitter trolls and have them take down anything that's critical of powerful people? Of course, that's what's going to happen. So this is just, hey, we need more groupthink. Hey, does anybody else have an opinion you don't like? Report them. Report someone who's saying something you don't like. We all need to be thinking the same things. What? This is amazing. There's surely no way this can go wrong. That's right. Since I, like most people, believe I'm correct about everything I say, then by definition, everyone who disagrees with me must be posting misleading content. I can't see how this is going to be misused. By the way, I reported this tweet as misleading. I will see what happens. Can I report this tweet? Oh, that's for starters, it provides no standards for or a definition of what constitutes misleading. He's meaning the Twitter. He's talking about this. He's saying this tweet is misleading. And why does he say it's misleading? For starters, it provides no standards nor a definition of what constitutes misleading.
Right on.
What are the standards? What's a definition? And does that mean we have to get rid of... So does that mean you can't have the National Enquirer? Doesn't get to have a Twitter? They don't get to have one? Ben Norton says, get ready for this new form of soft censorship to be abused to silence alternative media outlets challenging mainstream propaganda. That's exactly what's going to happen. So when we did a correct reporting about the false gas attacks in Syria, and we reported that correctly, CNN came out and said that we were spreading misinformation. And also, it says so in Wikipedia, which is also controlled by the CIA, or the intelligence community. So that it's still there on my Wikipedia page that says I'm wrong about the Syrian gas attacks, even though I've been proven right over and over and over and over. And now if I did that report today, it would be censored off Twitter and YouTube would demonetize it, if not take it down altogether. This is the world we're living in right now. Any of Aaron Mate's reporting is going to be considered misleading. Of course, the Western governments and corporate media outlets spread fake news like Iraq, WMDs, and Russiagate, and there will be zero consequence. Russiagate was one big misinformation party. Again, but if you're lying at the behest of the establishment, there's never a price to pay. But if you're telling the truth against the establishment, you'll be considered a conspiracy theorist spreading misinformation, and you'll be censored. And that's what people like the Young Turks have been pushing for, and the Democratic Party. And Joe Biden and Jen Psaki, and that's what they want. And we're here now. If a misleading tweet falls in the forest and nobody reports it, will this new feature still really be fucking stupid? Yes. Yes, it will be. Hey, thanks, Silicon Valley. Now everyone gets to be a censor. Everyone gets to be a censor. Isn't that what we all wanted, right? Hey, look under your seats. You get to be a censor. 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 Yay, we're all censors. We're all shit libs. We're all Keith Olbermann. We're all Cenk Uygur. We're all Anna Kasparian. Isn't that great?
What if like a bunch of people en masse, like every time a politician tweets, they just report it automatically?
Right?
And then Twitter has to deal with every time anybody in politics tweets, a million people report it. Our plan is ruined. That's how we take it back, folks. Someone should go do that. I don't follow any politicians on Twitter, so it's got to be someone else. But
this is censorship from the left. This is authoritarianism. This is coming from Silicon Valley, which is in bed with the Biden administration. This is authoritarianism coming from the left, and it's being propped up by half the left is for this kind of stuff. Any people who are vote blue no matter who are definitely for censorship like this.
Yeah, but that's not the left, though.
Well, people who can.
I know what you mean. I know what you're saying. I'm not trying to like.
Yeah, I know the Young Turks are a corporation now that are owned by big media conglomerates. I know that, but they're positioned as a progressive lefty news show. Mike Figueredo pretends and he's pro censorship like a motherfucker. David Dole, same thing. Shit libs, vote blue no matter who. Those are the people. I don't know. You know. The Democratic Party, Ron, is for censorship. Joe Biden is for censorship. Now, I know, and you and I know, that the Democratic Party is not left. But
right.
I totally take your point. But
I get our Overton window is so fucked, but it's like Silicon. That's not like they're neoliberals. Like
they're just shit liberals. And you know, if you read Chris Hedges, you read Thomas Frank. You'll realize that liberal is just another word for conservative. It just is. There's been more damage done by liberals in this country than conservatives, that's for sure. Because they do stuff that conservatives couldn't do. Like when Bill Clinton passed NAFTA, the conservatives, George Bush couldn't pass NAFTA. Bill Clinton could because he gave cover to the Blue Dog Democrats to turn on the unions. That Bill Clinton did that at the same time he gutted welfare, and exploded the prison population, put 100,000 new cops on American streets, militarized them, and he also deregulated Wall Street at the same time. They did all that, tried to privatize Social Security, and that got stopped because of Monica Lewinsky. So that's the kind of, and then of course Barack Obama came in and during a crisis, he kicked 5.1 million families out of their house and gave their houses to Wall Street and didn't help those people. And then he took us from 2 wars to 7. He ramped up the military budget. He gassed immigrants at the border. He built the cages for those immigrants. These liberals are just another word for frickin' corporatists, conservative, establishment, authoritarians. By the way, Barack Obama tried to prosecute Chelsea Manning, tortured Chelsea Manning. That's what Barack Obama did. Literally tortured Chelsea Manning and tried to prosecute Julian Assange. Tried to find every which way to do it. So that's right. So there is no left in America. By the way, by doing Force the Vote, I found out how small the left is in America. That was shocking. Did you see those Medicare for All marches? Did you see all the people who aren't there? Guess who wasn't there? Not one Democratic politician. Isn't that amazing? Cori Bush showed up at one of them, but she didn't agree with the Medicare for All march's demands, so she couldn't speak. So she showed up for a photo op for nothing. Not one Democratic politician showed up for the Medicare for All march. Where was Bernie Sanders, his signature issue? He was busy running interference for Joe Biden's horribleness. So there's no left. And if you think Bernie Sanders is left, you're mistaken. If you think the squad is left, you're mistaken. Because they give lip service to the policies that we favor does not mean they're on the left with us. They are not fighting with us. They're fighting against us, and they're shutting us up. And this Twitter censorship is more of it. Joe Biden's not going to try and stop this kind of censorship.
Oh, come on, man.
And the squad is for it. The Democratic Party's for it. And if you're voting for the Democrats, you're voting for censorship. But again, they're all cool with it. Everybody at TYT and all their satellite shows are all cool with it. They're for it, just not when it happens to them. But they're for it happening to everybody else, just not to them. But as we know, that's not how censorship works. They go after the easiest person first to censor, and they get you used to it. And they did it. And now you're used to it. And now people like Keith Olbermann go on a platform and say we should be banning comedians from social media. The Jimmy Dore Show is coming to a city near you August 28th. We're in Las Vegas at the Plaza. And we just added another show in Portland. We're there in Portland on September 10th and 11th. October 3rd, we're at Harlow's in Sacramento. More dates being added. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a link for all tickets. See you at a live show.